thing about where we are right now is that we're not competing with other institutions. We're really just leaning into who we are, and we just want to be the best version of ourselves, you know. And this project with Adam and Monica fits so well into that. When they were here in the residency, I was interacting with them constantly, but it wasn't until this going back and forth in the planning of the exhibition that I really saw the wisdom of this project. I just talked in a little VIP thing we had across the street about how I felt like, because we've never had a photography show here, and one thing that was incredible about working with Monica on this project, the fact that she insists on being completely analog and producing in film and shooting in film, was that she said that I have to keep that intention pure and that intention intact. And I really saw that in the images that are on display in our gallery. But that intent and that kind of purity of just keeping their hands off what that person brings to the table was incredibly enlightening for me. So I'm happy, like I said, that this has renewed my faith in the beauty of photography, and I think it's time that I introduce Monica and Adam to.
I'll just say something. I just wanted to thank you, because I feel like this show is finally like a representation of kind of what we're trying to say and trying to do. We're trying to encourage patience with one another and trying to encourage just listening. And it's a slow process. The show itself, I think there's like 2.5 hours of audio. It's a slow show. But I just encourage you to take the time and listen and just let it all seep in. And that's all. And I'm just really thankful to Dan to letting us do it, because I don't know what anything is ever going to look like. As far as my dreams say, all photos disintegrate and nothing will be on the wall. So I'm just beyond thrilled with, I don't know if I can ever show it any other way. So it's very exciting. So thank you, Dan. Okay.
How did you find the subjects?
So that's like a combination. We work with whatever institution is sort of hosting us, and then we put out a call. We'll have people sign up. So a lot of people from here signed up to work with or to sit with us. But also in Florida, we actually sat at different places. Like we were set up at the Blackbird Cafe for I think twice or something, and we got a lot of great stories from there. And that's a little different than other places. Usually we kind of plan ahead with someone, but that was exciting to just change that. But we never chase after people. If you don't want to do it, we're not coming after you. So it has to be a collaboration.
When you pick a final photo for your work you put on the wall, is it based on kind of a blend of the story of the person as well as visually how it came out, or is it more visual, a story? Like, what's that balance?
I think it's probably more visual for me. It's also how I only take 1 or 2 of each person, so I don't have many to choose from. Of each person. But sometimes I botch it, so I can't use it. But sometimes when there's like a moment that can happen when you have to see it come out in the darkroom and watch it develop, and then I know, okay, this one's gonna work. And what was really exciting about this one was doing the enlargements, because normally I'm just doing contact prints. So getting to use an enlarger, I printed at a place in New York, and getting to see it, that was amazing. But some negatives didn't work, and I just had to move on.
But were you kind of asking also, if the image is really, all the stories are strong in their own right, but it's amazing here because they're not paired directly with each other. So there might be a story that we're like, this has to be included. The image might not necessarily be in the show though, right? So to go to the idea of do we look at the image or listen to the audio to decide what to display or share or put up on the wall. This kind of freed us up to not have to make that choice.
Are there other photographers or videographers that have influenced your work?
Many. I think most influential would be, there's a photographer, a German photographer, August Sanders, who if you look him up, you'll know I'm copying him. And, but other, like, contemporary, Alice Tomlinson of England, she's really amazing. And there's hundreds, but Richard Rinaldi is a really big influence. He did a project called Touching Strangers, and he would pose strangers together as if they knew each other. And I just thought that was a really cool, I know it sounds kind of weird, but you should look it up, it's really beautiful.
What was the name of it again?
Touching Strangers, but Richard Rinaldi, just in general, his work is like mind-blowing.
Monica, could you repeat the questions?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
Oh. Okay, I guess that's all done, okay.
Yeah.
If you're freelancing for subjects, how do you spot and approach an unsolicited subject and then get them to say, yeah, I'm in?
Yeah.
Or do you guys?
No, you
The-
I mean, I'm a little shy, you know, so I don't know how to do it.
So the question is how, like, if we're just out there in the world, how do we approach someone to
Yeah.
participate? It's,
While freelancing for them.
I kind of think we almost don't need to, because if you when you go over to the gallery, you'll see the photo of her camera up there.
Yeah.
And if we're set up with that camera, people approach us more often. And especially if we're set up with our, plain, our toy hauler cargo trailer that's actually a full black and white darkroom, people approach us. So it's not a lot of, like going back to what you said about not chasing people down. It's people approach us to do it, really. I mean, we'll, if they look at us, like if we're out set up, this happened a couple times when we were up in Vermont, which is where we were before here. We were just kind of on the main drag of this town, and people will walk by and they'll look at us like, what the heck is that? Then I'll be like, hey, then I'll start a conversation for sure and initiate that way, but for the most part, we're letting them, approach us and learn about the project and then participate. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm still curious how you approach the shy people with a lot to say.
What's the total number of people that you have actually accepted a photograph?
Yeah, so the question was how many do we have so far? Over 400 since July of 2021 when we started. A quarter of those are from here.
Are there specific type of subjects that you like the most to shoot?
Specific subjects of like people?
People,
Or-
yeah.
Do you-
Do you gravitate to?
I wish, they were asking, are there specific types of, or people that we want to shoot or like to shoot more than others? I would say, not really, anybody really. I mean, obviously sometimes people will give you more or I'll connect to somebody more than others, but I wouldn't say more than anybody else. Somebody that I've never met, so that's pretty much anybody. Yeah.
Do you remember the first, creative inspiration that you had as a child, or when did you realize your gift of being an artist? You talked about people who inspired you as a professional. When did you recognize your artistry?
So the question was, when did I realize I was an artist? When I was a child or something. There is I have been thinking about one moment. My parents are here, so there they are. My mom is a painter, my father's a musician. They're both insanely influential in how I am, and the older I get, the more I realize that, obviously. But there was I think I was like 4 or 5, and there's a terrible photo that I took of my dad, and he's holding a lamp up to his head. And it's a really, I mean, it's not, you know, but I think about that because I think that was when I first realized what light is. And I think about that picture a lot, because it's like, no matter what, you just need light. And I think that was kind of, so I don't know if that was like the moment, but I've had a lot of, you know, distractions over the years.